X gon' give it to you.
The following movie is rated I.
This has a 223cc engine with a counterbalance, 5-speed transmission, electric start. They're using a solid aluminum manifold, PZ30 28mm carburetor with tamper-proof screws and a plug for the mixture underneath, just like it always was. Oil dampened front forks, hydraulic disc brakes, front and rear. These have a CDI AC style ignition, which means you don't need the battery to start it and run it. They're using a 17 tooth front sprocket on these. They used to come with a 15 and a 45 tooth rear sprocket, 428 pitch chain. The gas tank holds 3.7 gallons total. Comes with a standard fuel petcock with on, off, and reserve. Reserve is almost a gallon on this. Rear shock is non-adjustable. It does not come with a rear rack. It has almost 1 foot of clearance underneath. The seat height is at about 35 inches. The spark plug is a DR8EA. Rear pegs for the passenger. Standard square box swing arm. Screw on fill cap. Analog speedometer with a shift indicator. On the controls you can turn the headlights and running lights off from there. High, low, and pass. Left and right push to cancel turn signals and your horn. On the right you have your kill switch and starter push button. On the neck of the bike is where you find the information of the year and the VIN number. The front tire is a 3.0 by 21. Looks like kind of a 60-40, a little bit more toward the dirt side, which is nice. And rear tire is a 410 by 18. Same style tire. But definitely a little bit narrower than the knobby tires they used to put on the Hawk originally. Didn't come in too bad condition. Look at that. Counterbalanced Hawk 250 engine. Found a birthmark already, boys. Wonder how. Still carbureted. Looks like it still has a mechanical speedometer. Different cap on the gas tank. Aluminum. Let's get an aluminum cover. Don't plug that off or you create a vacuum in there and you'll be wondering why when you run your bike for 15-20 minutes it dies. 250R. Looks like an injection molded. Not too bad of plastic. The keys are there on top of the manual, underneath the seat cover. Box of goodies up front here. Ooh, the Hawk X. Don't lose these. You're gonna need them. Another little birthmark. Maybe they should pad these. A lot of these metal ties here. Gotta take off. Front fender. Lift the metal frame off after you get all those screws out. More metal twisties. Got your handlebars. Your exhaust covers in here and headlight. They have this front suspension preloaded now with this bar. Original cluster even. Geez, the first Hawk I got was what, 6 years ago? 7? Mount these handlebars. My speedometer plate's missing a rubber, boys. Let's see what's in the box. Hawk bar pad, handlebar pad, blinkers, brake lever, springs and cable guides and bolts. Oh, wait a minute. There's the other one right there. Vent cap, mirrors, shift lever, another blinker, rear blinker, tool kit, and a spacer for the front tire. So that's everything. These are the tools that come in a kit. 10-8, 14-12, Phillips regular screwdriver, Allen wrench style Torx or 90-degree Torx, and a spark plug wrench that comes in a kit. There's your assorted hardware. I gotta put that on for the speedometer. A little wire bracing, probably speedometer. Same mirrors. Look at that handsome sumbitch. And blinkers. Not LED yet. Then you have washers for the backside that go underneath, and your nuts. These nuts. Make sure you don't pinch any wires. Put your flat washer and your nut. And tighten them up. So as you can see, my clutch cable is in front of the speedometer cable. It shouldn't be. So we'll take that speedometer cable off, move it behind it. And it won't bind anything up and ruin our speedometer cable. Let's check if this manual's changed over the years. No, it looks the same. Even has the same wiring diagram. Take a screenshot if you don't have it. There's your specifications. 11 kilowatts at 7,500 RPMs. It's 14.751 horsepower, boys. We'll get it up there doing some carb work and possibly a pipe, at least carb work. Still has 21-inch front rim and 18-inch rear rim. Easy to find tires for. Let's put them braces on here. Put the front fender on so we don't have to fight it. Pop these in the holes. It can be a little difficult. You can use a little soapy water, or you could struggle with it like I do. Yeah, I'll get some soapy water. Or just a little dish soap, little dab. A little dab of dish soap will do you. Take two bolts that were holding that bracket in. They're not used to hold that fender on. These are with 4 metal washers, one on each. Get them all started up in there by hand and run them home. Put our little cable holders on like that. Put our clutch lever and controls on this side. And there's a little hole that you have to line up with that pin like that before you tighten it together. Make sure it's closing up good and you're in that hole like that. You get your clutch lever on. You line them up, get them close for now. Line them up when you sit on it. You can see Motor Rider's got his Raven here. Definitely can't put a counterbalanced motor in one of these because it definitely needs a longer frame. Won't work. Huh, never noticed that. Gotta put that spacer in this side, get that rotor in between those brake pads, line up your speedometer groove onto this rim and have that down a little lower so this goes behind there. And drive that pins through. That should be it for the wheel. Tighten her up. Jack it up real high and get that lower shock bolt on. Put her in there and tighten her up. Now we can let her off the jack now. What do you think, Motor Rider?
Perfect.
Don't forget to torque up that axle bolt. Grease up your brake rod. Cotter key and washer goes behind it. Get that brake in there, put the cotter pin in the back with the washer. Put that return spring on. I use a brake tool. Put that for the master cylinder. I stuck it all the way through so I don't lose it, because they get lost. And it's just about right. You don't want to adjust this down and then it always puts the brake on, or it'll lock that brake up. It'll get hot and expand and make your brake lock up. If you want it down further, you got to adjust this so it comes up to put that down. You always have to have that little tiny bit of slack there. Now I got to adjust my brake light once I get the battery in. Get your blinkers on. So the blue one, green is ground, the blue one goes on the right, sitting on the bike. And then the orange goes on the left, of course. Push them in till they snap. And we got these rubber pieces for the bottom of the headlight. I'm gonna need some more dishwashing lube. Jam those little rubber pieces in, because they gotta line up to that on the headlight. Yeah, so alright, so you got that plug and then other two wires we gotta hook up, huh? So you gotta plug it into that one, and then there's an extra plug that must be an accessory. Always check these connectors. Look at that, it's not snapped into that block. Before you put it together, check them all. There, see if you can get her in there, Chris. This one's not in a hole. Not in a hole. Ain't got no hair on it. There, it's not bad. Get those screws. These screws. Steel washer. Then a rubber washer. Steel. And rubber. Put them on. These mirrors, you got to flip them because they're supposed to be that way. I don't know if you can notice. Okay. That's the way it's supposed to be. Yeah. See? I don't know why they send them that way. I see a lot of people put them on that way too. Tighten her down. And this, never going to stay up in there. Probably end up cutting that off because they're just going to be sliding down. I'm going to tighten them up too, because you know they're too loose, they're going to rattle and lose the adjustment. Put our shifter on. About right. Gotta go through this way. There. Get the side cover off. Oh yeah. Seal battery. Fuel line's off too. Get those all tightened up. See if we got any power, Chris.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, power. Headlights on, good.
Yeah.
Get that cover back on. Now we can put that little wind deflector thing on. Don't forget to put that one on. And our little heat shield for the passenger. You gotta take the side plate off to get that top screw on. And then when you think you're done, go over every screw, bolt, and nut and tighten them all up just to make sure. That should be about like that. This is about double what it should be. Just screw this out. Right like that. Even that might be a little much. Lock it up. The last piece, and then she's done. Lose these stupid things all the time. I'm always hitting them off. And that's it. She's done. Check your oil level. Chain tension, this is tight. Might leave it for the first ride because they loosen up quick. This chain guide isn't exactly positioned right like the original Hawk, so I'm probably just going to cut the groove off so it still acts as a guard but it won't throw my chain. So I just take a razor knife and cut that groove right off so it won't grab the chain and throw it to the side. Peel all your plastic off the graphics. Made in China. Made in MotoCheez garage. Fill her up with gas. Well, what do you think? Oh, you turned it on already? No leaks. Choke on is up. We'll see if it starts. This is like it's got to be tipped up more, huh? There. That's better. That's on. Here we go. It's a neutral, I thought. It says neutral. A few tie wraps, zip ties. And turn it up just a little bit. Sounds good. That used to be a lot stiffer. A little dent under there.
Oh
yeah. Feel alright?
yeah, it works.
I guess I'll drive it around the yard. Pretty smooth. A lot less vibration. Try her out. little smoother, right?
Yeah.
When you rev it up, it's pretty smooth. So if you want to go over the differences now, the tires are different. It has counterbalance now. Has a solid aluminum intake manifold. Different graphics, of course. Reflectors are in a different location. They used to be up here. Does come with pollution stuff. The original Hawk did not. This is a little softer. It's got a little tiny dent underneath the bottom here. The air intake tube that goes to the air box. Gas cap is different, but they did change that after I bought the original Hawk. Comes with a little toolkit box. Original did not come with that. It does have a 17 tooth front sprocket now, which was a 15 on the original Hawk. 45 was always the standard rear sprocket. And that is about it in the differences. I get a lot of people saying, you got to change the oil immediately. That used to be the case, but now it's a much better oil. It is shipped with good oil. I confirmed right direct from the actual supplier that this is in fact good oil for break-in. You do not have to change it when you first get it. It's not mineral oil. It says 1.5 quarts when you change the oil on this now, and it might be because it has that counterbalance to fill in there too a little bit, so we'll see when we change the oil. So if you want one of these bad boys, I got the links down below. Be sure to use a MotoCheez discount code on checkout, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned for some more rides.
X gon' give it to you.
Hey, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Hit that bell if you want new notifications on new videos. Links for products used are in the description and on MotoCheez.com. Thanks for watching.